Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Everybody is doing good. I am back to almost full recovery zone, and we're diving back into videos. We're talking Kenneth Walker III on the draft guide. What is his outlook going to be for the 2025 NFL season? Is he going to cripple us like he has in years past, or is there going to be some sort of a resurgence for the man? Because he is supremely talented, could be legitimately a top 10 running back in this class, if not flirting with top 8 numbers. But the injuries keep derailing the man, and he keeps on foiling us when we require him the most. So we're going to definitely break down a lot of Kenneth Walker III today on a draft guide, and subsequently, the show is done purposefully on a draft guide because it is on sale now. Draft guide, purchase your copy today via the Cover One website. There will be a link in the comments for all y'all if you want to purchase your copy today. This thing is a beast, man. Cut you 300 player evaluations, sleepers, draft rankings, my guys, must avoids. I'm telling y'all, this thing is a monster. Going to get you guys ready and prepped for this year's NFL season and fantasy football so we can get those championships. Get your copy today. Support your boy because, I put a ton of work on this thing, and I'm going to get you guys covered. But let's talk a little Kenneth Walker III on player stats. Right off the bat, man, we know Kenny is a very good running back, like I mentioned. But, overall, in his 3-year NFL career, the best part of it was we did see a lot of potential career highs for the man. If he had played a full 17 games, he did not. He only suited up in 11 contests this past year, ran for 153 attempts, almost 600 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. But where he did, cap off a lot of value for us this past year was in the receiving game, career high in targets and receptions, yards, and everything was on the ups as they were utilizing him a lot more in that pass game. He still finished as the running back 28. Definitely no bueno when we talk about where we drafted him, but a very nice, encouraging stat is the 72% boom rate for a Kenneth Walker. When he is on the field, he's booming like a madman, but when he's not on the field, he's definitely crippling us. We lost 6 games to this man last year, and it definitely did not help us as guys like Zach Charbonnet definitely filled in the punch. And we see his previous years in 2023, 905 yards. He had 8 rushing touchdowns, ran for 53% on that boom rate, and was the running back 19. Where in his rookie season, he did crack the 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he hit a 66% on that boom rate for his best finish as the running back 16. So you see, year over year over year, his stats continue to keep falling, due in part to those injuries, not because of what he is on the field. But like I said, the encouraging sign is, as he is, maturing in the NFL, his boom rates are increasing that much better to 72%, which should be a good, staple and standard of how you could view him when you do draft him for your club. Hopefully you get the good, proper value for the man where he's not going to cripple you. Last year, Seattle Seahawks team stats, they ran for 1,600 yards, 17 total TDs, where you can see even in the injury-riddled season that Kenny did have in those 11 games, he still accounted for 39.9% of the rushing attempts and 10% of the target share and 11% of the receptions. So even in 11 games, he still was a very high producer, and the Seattle Seahawks definitely utilized him as such, man. Big time change over for these Seattle Seahawks. No more Geno, no more DK, no more Lockett. We got Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, rookie and company. They drafted another running back as well to the mix to help aid in this running back room as well. But Kenneth Walker overall, and we're discussing statistically speaking, top 10 finishes, 3, 4, and 3 from his rookie season all the way to 2024. Definitely not a terrible, you want to see those in the 6 to 10 range. 10 is pretty high for a, top 10 finish, but anywhere from 6 to 10 in that realm of opportunity, we could see Kenneth Walker be that much better and finally crack over 200 fantasy points, where he did have 158 points on those consecutive seasons respectively as well. So he's still yet only cracked one 1,000-yard season and still yet to crack 200 points in fantasy football. When is it going to come? This is what a lot of people are trying to ask. Is this something to be worried about? And I'm starting to get a little worried. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Love me some Kenneth Walker III. Loved him back at Michigan State. But, in the NFL, his body just has not been able to hold up to the, high-end volume. He's so fast, he's so physical, and he continues to find his way into that medical room. Definitely not a big-time upside for us. When we talk about injury history for a Kenneth Walker III, you need a damn Venn diagram to get this man's injury history on this man. He is loaded up with issues, man. He got a groin injury, sports hernia, grade 1 back in 22. Another groin pull, grade 1 in 23. 22, he had another thigh hamstring pull. grade 1 in that sense as well. 2021, he had an ankle sprain pull, grade 1 in that significance. Also, again, 2022, another ankle strain, grade 1 pull. The positive is that these are all grade 1 issues, nothing really overly physical in that sense. Abdomen muscle strain back in 23 and in 2024, both grade 1, did miss time in that respect as well. Leg calf strain, grade 1 in 2024, and then again an ankle issue, grade 2 level sprain, which would classify that more as a high ankle sprain in 2024 as well. So you see the injury risk potential for Kenneth Walker III is the biggest concern that I do have for this man. While he is supremely talented and he can put up a lot of points and a lot of yards when he is on the field, these injuries, man, they are killing us. And how do you not risk this guy as a high-level risk? This is why even where we talk about his ADP when we get to that level as well, the overvaluing of what Kenneth Walker III is they're valuing him based on his talent, not necessarily what you could lose out of this man when you draft him. Yes, 2022 and 2023, he played in 15 contests, where in last season was only 11, but the decline continues to happen. He keeps finding his way into the medical room with all of these ailments, and they're all a lot of soft tissue injuries. The abdomen issues do scare me quite a bit because that does go into the sports hernia issues. And lots of time is lost. Missed games are lost, and he's playing less than 100% more often than not. That is a big, very big concern for me when it comes to his injury history, and I do not like it whatsoever. Well, let's talk this depth chart the Seattle Seahawks do have right now. K9, Kenneth Walker III, along with Zach Charbonnet, one of the best, backup running backs or potential tandems in the NFL, without question. Zach Charbonnet is a full-bodied volume pig. He can absolutely take a lot of pressure off of Kenneth Walker. He's still got Kenny McIntosh sitting in the wings, where they did draft themselves a Damian Martinez as well, rookie from Miami. We'll see how he does go. And then George Halani, we'll see. He's basically just depth purposes at this point. We see how it compared last year. Very even splits. The Seahawks weren't necessarily, a great running team last year, but at least that they could push the pile and, push the tempo when it comes to the running game as well. Whereas Zach Charbonnet, he had 135 receptions for almost 600 yards, 8 TDs. So you can see the tandem approach. If they did a 50-50 split backfield with a Kenneth Walker III, not only would it help Kenny, stay on the field, Zach Charbonnet is definitely a volume horse that can take a lot of volume and supplant carries from a Kenneth Walker. This is not good news for a lot of fantasy managers who own Kenneth Walker at this point, are looking to draft him in redraft leagues this year, because I do believe that it is coming. There is a reason why they drafted somebody like a Damian Martinez as well, where a McIntosh is kind of, sitting, waiting in the wings. He is that guy who can take touches as well. I mean, career high in targets, like I said, 53, and in receptions, 46. Definitely did save Kenneth Walker's point totals last year. When we're talking projected stats, what Kenny would have actually ran last year had he played the full 17 was 236 attempts for 885 and 11 touchdowns, 81 targets, 71 receptions, 462 and 2 touchdowns in the receiving game. So you can see the difference year over year over year. His receiving upside definitely did help his cause in fantasy football last year with guys like Geno Smith. How will that change with Sam Darnold? We will see. But I mean, projected 17-game season, his point totals would have been 248.2 for a running back 9 finish. So this is exactly what I'm saying. He is a top 10 running back if he is on the field, and there's no question that he could flirt with the idea of getting, 1,200 rushing yards and still catch at least 50 receptions in a single season as the premier workhorse back. There is no question in my mind. It's just the injuries continue to fail us, continue to fail him as well. Walker's never finished a full 17-game season, already 10 games missed in his 3-year NFL career. Definitely no bueno, not good situation, not good news if you are looking to draft Kenny Walker, especially as your running back too. That still does scare me quite a bit, because we talk about his ADP. That's exactly where he's kind of landing in, man. We got him ranked as running back number 15, overall 41 on the draft board for redraft. Right now, he sits in between these 6 gentlemen: Chase Brown, number 12, Breece Hall, 13, James Cook, 14. Kenny slots in at running back 15, ahead of an Alvin Kamara, I should say, and then Chuba Hubbard at number 17. I could make significant arguments in this case to be drafting all of these running backs over a Kenneth Walker III at this point. It does hurt me to say, because like I'm saying, I'm trying to get on board and saying, if I am drafting a Kenneth Walker III, we're definitely going to have to hedge bet because of the injury potential. Is it wrong to suggest must if you take a Kenneth Walker III and then you absolutely draft the handcuffs of a Zach Charbonnet to hedge bet in this sense. It's absolutely a must on this team for the Seattle Seahawks and for you Kenneth Walker III owners. If you are taking Kenneth Walker and you're not drafting at least 4 or 5 running backs within your first 8 rounds, you definitely have to get a Zach Charbonnet. Otherwise, you are going to be hurting again. You cannot let Charbonnet sit on that waiver wire for others to get all those point totals. When you're drafting Kenneth Walker to hedge bet with a Charbonnet, it's the only way you got to do it. But, I mean, Alvin Kamara and Chuba Hubbard, I'm definitely in the argument to suggest I can take them over Kenneth Walker and feel absolutely satisfied because all those injuries do pile up. For the fantasy football profile, I mean, 3 years, like I said, overall, we'll summarize everything we know about Kenneth Walker at this point. He's missed 10 games. He's always injured, always playing hurt. I mean, always going to the medical room, even though, okay, he does. How many times we see him leave contests early as well? That's not marked down as a missed contest because he did play and start the game. That is another situation. So the injuries are the greatest concern for Kenneth Walker's upside and future. The Seattle Seahawks definitely revamped the entire offense. This is going to be an interesting aspect for the Seattle Seahawks with a Sam Darnold, no more Geno Smith. How are they going to, move the football? Could be more nickel and dime passing with some added rushing, maybe a tandem backfield. I could definitely see that. They got 3 slot guys on this team at the wide receiver position in Jackson Smith, Jigba, Cooper Kupp, and then Torrey Horton as well. I mean, these guys are all slot machines, slot weapons. You got to believe that they're going to be trying to make this offense very comfortable for a Sam Darnold to at least have very safe throws down the field. And if Cooper Kupp is anything like he used to be, even at 85-90% of what he used to be, he's still going to catch a lot of passes. So this bodes to say that they're going to try to run the football quite a bit, potentially, like I said, with a tandem approach, and then nickel and dime everybody down the field, play that ball control, and try to win contests that way, man. Charbonnet is a volume pig. Like I already mentioned, if you are drafting Kenneth Walker, the easiest hedge bet is to take the backup in a Zach Charbonnet because it has to be done. We saw it last year. I mean, it was basically the best waiver wire pickup off free agency for us in fantasy football was Zach Charbonnet, and he definitely hit the mark when we required him as well, man. They drafted a Damian Martinez, like I mentioned, to hedge bet just in case Kenny does go down again. That way you got 2 reliable running backs in a Martinez and a Charbonnet that can move the pile if required. We're talking projected stats for a Kenneth Walker based on all these stats, injuries, and I dump it into my model. It spits out 14 contests, potentially 200 attempts, 920 yards, 8 touchdowns, 34 receptions, 241 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown, giving him a boom rate potential of 66.7. And he would finish as a running back getting 187.1 points. This is on the lower trend. If we're talking about high-end trends, we could definitely see him go into that running back 9, running back 10 situation if he does play a full 17 games. Like I said, 248.2 points would easily put him into the top 10 of running backs. So you can see how the pendulum does swing quite vast, man, when you're talking top 20 running back or a top 10 running back. It's all due in part to the injuries, how much he can endure, how much he's going to play hurt, how much he's going to stay out of that medical room. This is the gravest sign of worry for a Kenneth Walker III. Am I still drafting him? I'm going to say right now, unless his value does fall a little bit more, I'm staying away at this point from Kenneth Walker, where he sits at that running back 15. I will not touch it. It is too damn high for me. If he starts falling into the running back 20s, that's when we're talking about smashing that draft button, because he will provide better on the ROI than his ADP does give. But if you're taking him at running back 15, you're going to potentially be a little upset with him because he's going to find his way into the medical room again. You got to show it, prove it for me to believe it and preach it at this point. We've got a good sample size of 3 years of him being in that medical room, and it definitely is not good. No bueno. But there you have it. That is Kenneth Walker III on the Draft Guide profile, just in time for the Draft Guide to be on sale. Like I said at the start of the show, get your copy today via the Cover One website. You guys will not be disappointed. I'm telling y'all, and I will get some updates as the offseason does go. Injuries, free agency, and trades that do occur, I will be updating it live until the start of the season. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What do you think of a K9? You drafting Walker, you passing, you fading? Throw it in the comments. Tell me where you're going with Kenneth Walker, but we'll see you next time. I am out.